Steelers Nation, one thing is absolutely certain right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers are aggressively searching for ways to improve this roster, strengthen the offense, and finally build a team capable of making a true championship run. This organization refuses to settle for mediocrity. The front office knows the expectations in Pittsburgh are higher than simply reaching the playoffs. The mission is clear. Build a complete roster, surround the quarterback with elite weapons, and restore this franchise to dominance. But before we dive into this explosive development involving one of the most exciting young wide receivers in football, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because what's happening behind the scenes right now could reshape the entire future of the Steelers offense. And just a quick reminder, Steelers fans, if you want official Steelers gear, whether it's a TJ Watt jersey, cold weather hoodies, hats, or the newest Sideline pieces, the link to the official Fanatics store is below. They update it daily with new releases, and grabbing your gear through that link also supports the channel. According to multiple reports coming out of the NFL Scouting Combine, the Steelers are not just exploring wide receiver options, they are actively engaged in conversations about acquiring one of the most dynamic young receivers in the league, Brian Thomas Jr. Yes, Steelers Nation, this is real, and this situation could become one of the biggest stories of the entire offseason. Reports indicate that the Steelers have been in talks with the Jacksonville Jaguars regarding Thomas's availability. Even more intriguing, discussions between the two teams reportedly date back to last season's trade deadline. This isn't a new idea. This is a pursuit that has been quietly developing for months. And when you look at the numbers, it's easy to understand why Pittsburgh is interested. Thomas entered the league as a first-round pick and immediately showed superstar potential. He exploded onto the scene with over 1,200 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns during his rookie season, instantly establishing himself as one of the most dangerous young playmakers in football. He has elite speed, he has elite size, he has elite explosiveness. He's the type of receiver who changes defensive game plans the moment he steps on the field. Even during a quieter follow-up season, Thomas still showed flashes of brilliance, proving his ceiling remains incredibly high. And perhaps most importantly, he is still on a rookie contract, making him both a high upside and financially attractive option. For the Steelers, this opportunity couldn't come at a better time, because let's be honest, this offense needs more firepower. Last season, the Steelers did not have a single 1,000-yard receiver. DK Metcalf led the team with just 850 receiving yards. While Metcalf provided explosiveness and physicality, opposing defenses were able to focus heavily on him due to the lack of another true elite receiving threat. That's where Brian Thomas Jr. could completely transform this offense. Imagine a receiving duo featuring Metcalf's size and vertical dominance combined with Thomas's speed, versatility, and playmaking ability. Defenses would be forced to make impossible decisions. Double Metcalf, and Thomas punishes you. Focus on Thomas, and Metcalf dominates deep. Try to cover both one-on-one, and the offense becomes nearly unstoppable. This is exactly the type of offensive balance Pittsburgh has been searching for. And there's another critical factor in this equation, the quarterback situation. The future of veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers remains one of the biggest unanswered questions facing the Steelers. While there is growing belief that Rodgers could return, nothing is guaranteed. And regardless of who starts under center, adding elite weapons makes life easier for any quarterback. Whether it's Rodgers, whether it's young quarterback Will Howard developing behind the scenes, or whether it's veteran backup Mason Rudolph stepping in when needed. Every quarterback benefits from having elite playmakers, and that's exactly what Brian Thomas Jr. represents. But while the potential addition of Thomas is generating excitement, there's another important storyline developing inside the Steelers' quarterback room, one involving Mason Rudolph. Despite ongoing uncertainty surrounding the starting quarterback position, Rudolph's role with the team appears secure, and that stability could be critical. Rudolph has quietly built a reputation as one of the most reliable backup quarterbacks in the league, He has stepped in difficult moments. He has won important games. He has helped guide the team through adversity. Steelers insiders have made it clear the organization values his experience, his leadership, his knowledge of the system, and his ability to step in and perform when needed. This is especially important as the Steelers continue developing younger quarterbacks like Will Howard. Rudolph provides mentorship, he provides stability, he provides insurance. And in a season filled with uncertainty at the quarterback position, that experience could prove invaluable. But make no mistake, everything connects back to the Steelers' aggressive push to improve the offense. The potential addition of Brian Thomas Jr. would send a powerful message. It would signal that the Steelers are serious about surrounding their quarterback with elite talent. It would signal that the front office is committed to building a modern, explosive offense. And it would signal that Pittsburgh is ready to compete with the most dangerous teams in the AFC. Because in today's NFL, elite offenses win championships. Elite weapons create opportunities. Elite playmakers change everything. And Brian Thomas Jr. has the potential to become exactly that kind of player in Pittsburgh. Of course, any potential trade would depend on the price. The Steelers are known for being disciplined when it comes to roster building. They won't sacrifice the future recklessly, but if the opportunity is right, if the value aligns with their long-term vision, this is exactly the type of move Omar Khan has shown he's willing to make. For months, the expectation around the league seemed simple and almost inevitable. The Steelers wanted Aaron Rodgers back. Publicly, team leaders have consistently projected confidence. General Manager Omar Khan and new head coach Mike McCarthy have both expressed support for Rodgers and what he brings to this team. On the surface, it sounded like a reunion was only a matter of time. But now a new report is raising serious questions. NFL insider Jory Epstein recently revealed that people around the league are not entirely convinced the Steelers are as committed to Rodgers as they appear publicly. And that changes the entire conversation. According to Epstein, while the Steelers have said the right things, there's reason to believe the organization may be keeping its options open. In fact, she suggested that public statements from the team could be part of a broader strategy, maintaining leverage while quietly evaluating other possibilities. And here's where it gets interesting. Omar Khan himself recently admitted that Rodgers retiring or not returning wouldn't necessarily be the worst-case scenario for the team. Think about that for a moment.
This is a 42-year-old future Hall of Fame quarterback, a player with legendary credentials, a proven winner. And yet, the Steelers are signaling that they are prepared for other outcomes. That doesn't sound like a franchise that is completely dependent on one player. That sounds like a franchise preparing for multiple paths forward. And Steelers Nation, that's exactly what great organizations do. They prepare, they evaluate, they plan ahead. Because the truth is, while Rodgers still possesses elite football intelligence and the ability to elevate an offense, he is also entering the final stage of his career. Age is undefeated, and the Steelers cannot afford to tie their entire future to uncertainty. This is where things become even more fascinating. According to reports, the Steelers could explore alternative quarterback options if Rodgers does not return. One of the names mentioned is Malik Willis, a young quarterback with elite athleticism and untapped potential. Willis has shown flashes of brilliance, but has yet to fully establish himself as a franchise quarterback. In the right system, with the right coaching, he could develop into something special. And with Mike McCarthy now leading the Steelers, there is reason to believe this coaching staff could help unlock that potential. Another name that has surfaced is Kyler Murray, one of the most electrifying dual-threat quarterbacks in football. Murray brings elite mobility, arm talent, and playmaking ability. However, concerns about leadership and consistency have followed him throughout his career. Still, there is no denying his talent. If the Steelers believe they can provide the right structure and environment, Murray could represent a long-term solution at the most important position in football. But make no mistake, Rodgers remains the central figure in this story. Because if he returns, he instantly gives the Steelers credibility. He instantly gives them experience. He instantly gives them a chance to compete. His presence elevates everyone around him. Young players learn faster. Veterans perform with greater confidence. The offense becomes more dangerous, and the locker room gains a leader who has been through every possible situation in the NFL. But there is also risk. At 42 years old, Rodgers is not a long-term solution. The Steelers must think about the future. They must prepare for life after Rodgers. They must ensure stability at the quarterback position for years to come. And that's why this moment is so critical, because the decision they make now will shape the future of the franchise. Will they recommit to Rodgers for another season and pursue a championship with a veteran leader? Or will they pivot toward a younger quarterback with long-term potential? This is the question facing Omar Khan. This is the question facing Mike McCarthy. And this is the question that will define the next era of Steelers football. What makes this situation even more fascinating is the Steelers' history of stability at the quarterback position. From Terry Bradshaw to Ben Roethlisberger, this franchise has been defined by consistency and leadership under center. They understand the importance of getting this decision right. They cannot afford to miss. And right now, it appears they are carefully evaluating every possible outcome. They are not rushing. They are not panicking. They are preparing. Because championship organizations do not rely on hope. They rely on strategy. They rely on vision. They rely on smart decisions. Steelers Nation, the next few weeks could define the future of this offense. Will the Steelers successfully acquire Brian Thomas Jr.? Will they build one of the most dangerous receiving duos in football? Will this offense finally take the next step toward championship contention? These questions are about to be answered. And now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Steelers should trade for Brian Thomas Jr.? Do you believe he could be the missing piece this offense needs? Or should the team focus on developing young talent through the draft instead? Leave your opinion in the comments section right now. And if you enjoyed this exclusive Steelers update, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Official Pittsburgh Steelers gear, new drops, and exclusive items, all in the link below. Check it out, Steelers Nation. Because Steelers Nation, the future is being built right before our eyes.